Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever and whenever you are in the world. This is Adam Harrison. I'm joined by my three amigos, Darren McDonald, Jesse, the bodybuilder, and Joe, who's just shot back out again for a second because he's got a shitty connection. So, all right. Gosh, what's been going on? A lot of things have been happening here. I've been sick. So I apologise for not having the podcast last week. I nearly didn't have it today, but I thought, no, we got to soldier on. We got to keep going. Stop being a big wuss. So I thought, all right, if Darren can do it, I can do it.
I've lost audio. I can't hear you.
That's right. We can hear you, buddy. That's right. While Joe is finagling around with his poor connection, because it's raining up there where he is, up in North Queensland. So, yes, big thanks to CB Giddy for sponsoring the show. Also, big thanks to Killer Strings. Steve Harvey, of course, who was on tour in Europe, and Cindy, who have been incredibly supportive of Killer Strings Australia. I cannot ask for a better team of people to help me there. So, yes, we are sponsored by cbgiddy.com. You will see an affiliate link down in the episode description. And let's see what we can do. All right, let's get started. What's been going on in your lives?
Not much.
Right, well, that was a good show. We'll catch you all later next time.
I finally finished 2 guitars. Finished them over the weekend. The one for the builder's swap, one for Bert.
Oh, yes.
And then I've got the 6-string Doom with that big sort of barbarian. It's a 6-string guitar. It's not a CBG.
The Iceman.
It's a 6-string guitar, and I done that print paint on top of it. So it's got like a 1970s band mural over it. It's really cool. So I just finished that one last night. Gave it a little bit of a strum. It's also my first left-handed build that I've built for a while, and I'm left-handed, so it actually feels really, really good to touch a guitar that isn't upside down.
Oh wow!
Yeah. But the worst part about it is I'm building it for a colleague at work, and he just lost his bloody job.
Oh no!
So I don't think he's going to be buying the guitar anytime soon.
Oh, shit. Well, hopefully
his house.
Well, I feel real bad for him, but being a left-handed guitar, and now I have this super slick 6-string electric in my shop, I might just claim it for a little bit.
Yeah, we can always send Darren up to rough him up.
No routers north of the border.
Yeah.
Come on, I've got a good baseball bat.
So I think,
what about you, Jesse? You've been building?
Kind of, not really. A couple simple ones. This one turned out pretty nice.
Yeah, that looks nice. Looks traditional.
yeah,
Top looks good.
I love it. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice head.
That's beautiful.
I've been doing a lot of repairs lately, actually, and I have a Fender bass that was built in 1964, and it's only had one owner, and it was played. You know, they made some pretty big hits back in the 60s. You know, the late 60s, and so it's kind of an honor.
So whose bass is it?
The old man, his name is Doug Spidell, and he was in a band called Little Joe and the Ramrods.
Oh, I heard of that. I've heard of that name somewhere, yeah. Jesse's just walked off to go and grab it, and in the background we can see there's an Oompa Loompa in the corner down there. He hasn't shooed him off.
Yeah.
He hasn't shooed him off the screen yet.
What is that? Is that Oompa Loompa waving for help?
Oh,
that's
nice.
an original cake. Nice.
Well, because your son's name is Gibson.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. At the time, me and my wife, I couldn't afford a Gibson. So our next child was a boy. We decided I can't afford a Gibson. Let's just make our own.
That's very cool. That's nice. Yeah, I always liked the name. I've always been like the name Jackson. And
Jackson, yeah.
There was also another name which I really liked, which is actually, I think it's an Arabic name, which is Charbel with a B. Charbel.
Okay.
And I always liked that because it sounded like Charvel. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jess.
My daughter's boyfriend, just real quick, my daughter's boyfriend's name is Marshall, and we haven't met him yet. They don't live close to us, but they'll come up and visit soon. So I'll have Gibson and Marshall together.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Anyway, sorry, Jesse.
Oh, that's all right. But this bass is pretty cool. I'm keeping all the natural kind of authentic to it. I just cleaned it up a little bit.
Very nice. But well looked after.
Everything's pretty much original on it. And looking up serial numbers and stuff like this could be a $30,000 guitar. That's 40.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah. Charge him accordingly.
Yeah.
This is actually I'm doing this one for free.
Beg your pardon?
I'm doing this one for free.
Oh yeah.
Just looking after someone nice. That's very cool, Jesse. Very, very cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it's not every day you get to have that in your shop, eh?
Right. That's why I'm doing it that way.
Yeah, that's an opportunity on its own.
Make sure he tells his mates, so that you can charge them.
Yeah. Yeah, between you and me, it was free, but tell your mates it was $400.
Yeah. So, what's been going on with you, Daz?
Not much. Just been doing some work around the house. I finished my grandson's guitar.
Yeah, that's just ace. Did you fix the nut?
No.
Nah, not yet.
That's nice. You like that shape, hey? You do that shape a bit. Is that your signature shape? Kind of like a telly?
Yeah, probably because I don't have a Stratocaster template.
I'll give you one. I'll lend you one. I've got one. I made one.
So yeah, finally finished that one. And yeah, that's basically it for me.
That's it? Yeah, just been busy being a grandpa.
Yeah, that's it.
That's nice.
And I'll see you all next week.
Yeah. And that's it, Daz. That's all that's been going on.
What have you been up to, Adam?
Adam.
Look, apart from being crook, I was off work for a whole week about 2 weeks ago. That's why last weekend we couldn't do the podcast because I couldn't breathe. That was fun. This last week I've still got it. It's just been a mongrel of a thing to kick. So I'm still not feeling well, but I managed to get back into the shop. I'm finishing up my last two. For the moment, my last two made-to-order guitars. Darren knows what it's like for me at the moment with the made-to-order stuff. It's not what I love building, but it's kind of what's been bringing in the money for the last few years because people tend to be going for those made-to-order builds that I do. And the frustrating thing is even when I make them and I put them in the shop, they don't sell. Like people have been liking the fact that they can order, but the problem is that with my lifestyle and the way things are and how busy work is, like I can't get them done within a 6-week period. It's just impossible for me to get them done with so much that's been going on. And like I could knock them together, smash them together, and just get them out like in a couple of weekends. But I don't want to do that. I want them to be like really, schmick guitars. Yeah. So you got to make sure that the oils and the polyurethanes have all dried properly and all this sort of stuff, and it's that takes the time. And then on top of that being winter here, there's certain days when, especially up here in the Blue Mountains, there's certain days when you can't glue because it's below 10 degrees and the glue just won't set properly. So, and that's the thing. And I can't bring oil stuff into the house because it basically it just stinks. It just the whole family just goes, wow, so it's like, you can't do it, So that's been a bit of a frustration. I'm finishing, and I love building them, I do, but it means that I can't do things like this. Have a look. That's a normal size one.
Oh, it's a mini box.
Isn't he gorgeous?
With a 3-string.
A little 3-string. And this is, yeah, I'm going to tell you about it, man. This is I put this on. I did put this on. This is on the website. But this is a little guitar that I'd made. You can see that the Merbau neck here, and then that's reclaimed pine. It's not Huon pine. I keep calling it Huon pine. It's a different type of pine. It's very old. It's off like an old 1940s or 1930s. So no, it's not Cypress either.
Yeah.
I was talking to our old mate Pete Vivers from Buzzard Guitars, and he knows exactly what timber it is because he gave it to me years ago, like years and years ago. But I ended up putting this because it was fretless. I ended up putting it, and it was basically just covered in dust. There were no tuners on it. I ripped it apart, and the body was there. There was no pickup in it. And I just looked at it and I went, no, this is what I want to do. And look at the size of it.
It's a tiny little thing. It's like a cigar box ukulele.
Yeah, but it's...
Is it a shorter scale?
It's a 21.5-inch scale.
So it is a shorter scale.
Yeah,
so
it is a shorter scale. And I've got a heavier set of the...
baritone uke.
Sorry?
Getting close to like a baritone uke.
Yeah, but it's still in open G tuning.
Yeah.
GDG tuning. And it's just lovely. And this is the kind of thing that I've been having having heaps of fun building. And I showed you I don't know if I showed you last week, but that's another, I think, 21.5-inch scale length.
Yep.
And that's reclaimed pallet timber.
Yep.
Fretboard.
The good thing about that is you get some good grain in that pallet timber, eh?
Isn't it lovely?
Oh,
yeah. It's so nice. And this has got the pickup, Joe, that I'm going to send to you.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to send you the
plastic
6-string. I gave Darren a 3-string version.
Yep.
But I will post this to you.
Yep.
And this is gorgeous. And I made the little knob there, and I love traditional builds. I like using traditional.
I like that colour of that box.
Yeah, isn't it?
That
well, I got this from.
What would you call that? It's like an orange mahogany kind of colour.
It's cedar. It is timber. I think that it's laminate. It's a laminate bottom. It's a laminate top too, but the sides are solid. Like it's got cedar sides. And I got this from Ben Baker. Because when I do my orders, like I go over $100 US, and they always send me a cigar box. So it's like cool, man. It's like that's lovely. I love it. And they always send me nice boxes. And I've got another one, but nothing's electric. I'm not using any electric guitar pickups. These are all piano, except for the short one I just showed you with the top mounted flat pickup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm having so much fun with piezo's. I just love it. I'm a bit old.
Them again.
I'm indulging my old school, you know.
I don't like them at all.
But sorry, no, I know. But see, for me, it's the music. So I get a lot of enjoyment from playing a lot of old Robert Johnson stuff, and even old Lead Belly stuff, and all the acoustic blues.
Yeah, and you've messed around with piezos a fair bit. I haven't. I've only tried it a few times, and I went, I don't like this, and that was that. So I guess you're also embracing the challenge of making the piezo work.
Yeah, and it depends.
I gave up on it.
You can't plug a piezo into an amplifier and turn up the distortion and expect it to sound good. It's not designed for a distortion. They're not even really designed for overdrive.
It's more of a bluegrass picking kind of style.
Yeah, well, it's exactly the same as
acoustic.
It's the same as an acoustic guitar. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to put an acoustic guitar through my electric guitar rig. It's not.
It's fun. You should try it.
Well, it is, but it feeds back. But they feed back like crazy. Like,
too.
it's just they squeal. They do a squeal. Like a piezo's not designed for that. What do you got, Jess?
Well, I like when you made that host, talking about that subject.
Yeah.
And my response was, I'm back and forth all the time. I love keeping my primitive roots alive.
Yeah.
But I also like doing new and innovative stuff. So this would be more of a primitive.
Yeah.
I just took a hole and just drilled a couple holes, and this box is really old. It's an all wood box, probably from the 1930s.
Oh, wow.
Looks like an old medicine man.
So look at the smile on my face. I'm looking at that, and the smile on my face is like, I absolutely love that. It's incredible.
And I've got this single pole pickup from GS Monroe.
Yeah.
And I just added a washer on top and just shimmed it up with some pennies.
Yeah.
Just to get it a little closer to the string, and it's got a bass string on it.
Yeah.
And this thing thumps, and it's really fun to play.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The fret markers, I just used a Sharpie, to put the fret where you're.
Oh man, that would be a nightmare to post. That's got to be over 1 point. It's got to be over 105 centimeters for sure.
Yeah, it's
Aussie Post wouldn't post that.
I suppose it's probably, I don't know what's 105. That'd be about 3 foot.
105 wouldn't be.
No, I can't do conversions.
That's about a meter.
It's probably 4.5 foot.
That looks like it's probably about 1.5 meters. That looks.
Yeah.
4.5 feet.
Yeah.
4.5 feet.
Oh yeah, and you're tall too, Jess, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pushing 8 feet.
But going back to those primitive roots, switching back and forth instead of building these nice, cutter, all that kind of keeps things fresh.
Yeah.
And I see people ask a lot, how do you deal with burnout? Well, that's my way.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've got at the moment. I've got a lot of burnout happening at the moment. Because I'm doing the made to order builds, and then doing the builds I want to do, and then running the strings, the Aussie strings, the Killer Strings Australia. Then on top of that, myself, Mila, my auntie from Barrel Dog Band, and Jeff from Crazy Possum Guitars, and also Johnny Devilseed. I hope you're feeling better, Johnny, too, if you're listening to this, mate. He's gone and done himself an injury. He's going through a bit of a hard time at the moment, Johnny. We've organised a festival for the 20th and 21st of September at Portland here in New South Wales, just past Lithgow, outside of Sydney. And that's, Mila's really taken the ball on that, and she's just been incredible. It wouldn't have happened without her, so big props to Mila. And I think we might get Mila on the podcast. I'll try and get her on for next week if we can, because she's just been incredible. Honestly, it wouldn't have gotten off the ground without her. She literally has done everything. I've done some sponsorship stuff, and Jeff and I are building some guitars. Jeff's organised the t-shirts as well. So crazypossumboxguitars.com, I think it is. That's Jeff's site, I think. Just look him up. Just Google him. If you want a t-shirt, you can buy them from Jeff. Darren, I think Darren might be coming out with me to help. Might be. Man the stall, get a few free drinks probably. And
$1 each.
Yeah, I'm emceeing, which is going to be fun. But yeah, I've got it. And then getting sick. And then on top of that, teaching a support class with some little autistic kids and I've burnt out, and I just completely burnt out, and I've spent bugger all time with family, so it's just been doing this podcast is actually quite therapeutic. I love doing it. It's something I really, really enjoy doing. So last week when I couldn't do it, it really bummed me out.
I look forward to it as well.
Yeah,
like a pick me up.
No, I think people are enjoying it. Yeah, I think people are enjoying it.
Good.
obviously,
That's good.
guys, if you're listening, you can help out. The easiest and best way that you can help out isn't financially. The best way you guys can help out is just tell your friends about the podcast. Share it with them. Get them to listen. We've got a bucket load of back issues as well. It spans a whole heap of time from 2016. There's been a few different versions of the podcast as well. I've got to admit, this is my favourite. This is good. I get to talk to my mates and shoot the breeze every now and again. We talk to some other people, and it's good. You know,
we'll have to bring up a guest to talk to soon.
Yeah. Let's talk about our topic today, actually, is Darren came up with a really, really good topic, and I think it's just simply learning to play. Learning to play. How did you guys learn to play? Is that was the topic, wasn't it, Darren? That's what you wanted to talk about?
No, when you can't
have trouble playing.
When you have trouble playing.
Like for example, I'm having some back issues and nerve issues down my arm.
Yep.
And I'm losing control. I have very weak upper body at the moment. The guitar is quite a struggle.
Yeah.
Building is almost off the card.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, I just have to stop because
Yeah.
I can't physically do it anymore. You're
Yeah.
talking about, hey, Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it really, really hard. I take moments, and I don't like all these stupid medications they put me on as well. They knock me out. I wake up groggy. It's not fun. I got to go to work every day to pay the bills, and I come home and I'm completely beat. And for me, and probably a lot of you guys, I know Jesse, building and playing is sort of like therapy. It keeps you on level. It keeps you happy, keeps you functioning. And right now, I don't know what to do with myself. You know, I'm bored shitless, and it's just really hard to fill that void of what to do. So yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, it's
How do you go through it, Darren, when you can't build?
Chuck things.
Chuck things. Yeah.
Throw things. like those little tiny screws in the back of the machine heads. Like, I dropped one man. At least 10 to 15 times I'm trying to pick them up. You know? And
but you're struggling with finger control, like, what do they call it, dexterity?
Yeah. Like, I had carpal tunnel surgery in both hands, which was supposed to be my miracle cure. And, just never done anything. So
So like strength and a flexibility issue?
Yeah, and like even playing chords and stuff on guitar, I have trouble with. Like
hard time.
Yeah, it's just.
I think that's where the slide guitar may come into my life a bit more than what it used to. Because I'm not a huge slide player. I play a little bit, but I really like playing like heavy riffs. You know, I like that chunky stuff. But the older I get and the more I realise that life's going to have to change, I think I'm going to become a slide player.
Yeah.
Because
but that's a really good point, mate. And that's I had a I'm not going to use his name only because of privacy reasons, but I think he'd get a kick out of me talking about him. So it's a mate of mine on Facebook, but he's been down here before. It's a fella up in Tea Gardens here in New South Wales, and he's ex-Navy, and he's got terrible issues with his fingers. I think he's missing from memory. He's missing a couple, and he loves his cigar box guitars, and he's got a massive collection from memory. Like he's got a huge collection of cigar box guitars and associated instruments. But slide for him is a great way for him to express himself. Because it's very difficult for him to play chords and notes, and it's slide is it's a great equalizer in a way because it reduces that need necessarily for needing to be dexterous, and to be able to be so like even when you're
with
with cigar box guitars. there's different ways. Everybody, when we build, everyone builds, in a different way. And some people, you can tell the people that are building, and I've said it before, who come from a guitaring background or I won't say luthier background, but at least a guitaring background, or the people who've worked on their own guitars. They know how to set their guitar up for themselves to play nicely. So a lot of the times they'll have their guitars will have quite low action. Now this one, for example, this has got what I would call a medium action, but even still, and it's got heavy strings on it. This has got the 42, 32, 22 strings, and the killer strings, and this is set with quite a low action. But even then, when I put a slide on, you can start to get that click clack thing. So having low frets on a fretted guitar can be great for your fingerstyle. To play, not using a pick. Sometimes using a pick is very difficult. And cigar box guitars, that's why these are so fantastic. But depending on the action that you use, like sometimes some people will put, they'll have a high action, which can be very difficult for people with finger strength issues to actually press down. These are things for you guys as builders, not you three, but our listeners out there as builders to maybe to think about, to think, okay, well, if I'm playing this guitar and I'm really fit and I might be fairly strong in my hands, if I'm having to press, the strings down onto the fretboard and it's either hurting or it's uncomfortable, how's that going to work for someone, who might be elderly? How is that going to work for somebody who might be very young? Someone who's maybe, how's that going to work for someone who might have strength issues? So I always think it's important when you're building guitars to use some fretless ones as well. And it's great to have fretless instruments because in your catalogue, because a couple of reasons why. Ultimately, it forces people to have to play slide, because you can't play fingerstyle completely on a fretless guitar. So it's a really good selling point if you want to talk about selling your instruments that you make, if you're interested in doing that. Having a selling point is saying they're actually easy to learn. All you got to do is keep the slide perpendicular to the fret, really, and then play around with your hand position.
Also helps with training your ear for tone as well, because you don't have that fret to rely on. So the more you practice with the slide, the better your ear gets as well.
Yeah, practice in the dark.
Yeah, because if you have frets on it, you know when to stop. On a slide, you could be slightly over or behind the fret, and your tone will be out.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect as a developing ear tone.
Well, all that was done. I wasn't even looking at the guitar. I'm looking up at the roof, and you eventually you kind of feel, and they're all different. They're all different sizes. I've got 21.5-inch scale lengths, or depending on the length of bloody timber that I've got. I was like, that's a nice piece. Yeah.
Yeah, without looking, you can come up to a G or whatever, and you can hear it yourself if you're a little bit forward or if you're a little bit behind, and then you just slightly adjust.
Yeah. The vibrato. Vibrato's the way to go.
Vibrato makes it. That's right, because you can hide your mistake. If you hit the wrong note, if you just do some vibrato and find the note you like, it now sounds intentional.
Cool. Another thing, as Adam was saying about picks, I have trouble holding them. So what I've done,
you got like a thumb pick, thumb strap. Yep.
Yeah, I glued an elastic band just so I can sit there and hold it.
That's a good idea.
And like the thumb picks, a lot of them are really hard on the plectrum. So I cut it down.
And glue one to it.
Yeah, and glued a pick to it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So you've taken a thumb pick, traditional thumb picking style pick with the over the thumb, and they're usually hard, but you've cut the plectrum off and put a softer one on.
Yeah, just so it makes it easier to play.
And
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and that, ladies and gentlemen, is
what
Cigar Box Guitar's all about.
That's right.
So,
I use a small jazz pick. It's smaller than a normal pick, and it has grooves for your finger and your thumb. It has like a sort of like a handle, you know, like a gun that's molded into your fingers. Is that a mold pick? So yeah, it's like that, but mine's thicker at where you hold on to, and there's actually an indentation for me to put my thumb in it. You got that too on that one. Do you like that pick, Jesse?
My thumbs are too big. My thumbs are too big.
Yep. I like both using a pick and using my fingers. You know, depending on what I'm playing. I definitely don't. When I first started playing guitar, I used a pick like that. Yeah. That's just more like Jesse's is the one I use. Adam's, yours is more normal looking, but it has the groove for your thumb though. I like them to hold on because I'm the same as you, Darren. If I don't hold the pick properly, it falls out of my hand.
I found this. I don't know. This is a Dunlop, but it's got like little sharp, not sharp, little. It's just got flying out of my hand. All right. My argument's gone. I'm going to shut up now. But it does have.
That's my life.
It does have little serrated bits on it. But I've got to be honest with you. Most of the time when I play, I kind of I've been playing with fingers, but using my fingernails like on a downstroke. You know, use my thumb. And I've been playing electric, not metal, but I've been playing electric guitar like electric blues. I've actually been kind of using the same thing and muting the strings that I don't want to use with my left hand. And it's, who's the guy who's doing the videos for Sweetwater in the US at the moment? He's quite very, very well known in 6-string electric circles. He used to do Andy Taylor. He's the same. He plays without a pick. Jared James Nichols is another guy. He's a young guy in his 30s now who he's really incredible.
Is that the guy with the real crazy hair and always plays the Gibson?
Yeah, real southern rock guy.
He has a fantastic technique. His picking, his like strumming hand.
Yeah.
The picking that he gets out of that is just absolutely brilliant. He can even get pinch harmonics without a pick as well.
Yeah, I've been doing the same. It's like, you know, that. So I hit a downstroke I hold my fingers like the same way as I do with a pick.
Yeah.
But I pick down with my fingernail, and I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, there's pitch harmonics in there. And it's the same thing. But the other thing that I've been doing is kind of this. I call it the diddle. It's like Eddie Van Halen used to do it. He used to do it. It's like he'd sit there and just kind of do that on the strings, just kind of wiggling your finger back and forward. So he could be holding the pick in his hand, but going for different, like, especially when he was doing his tapping work, and then he'd sit there so this experiment. I suppose what we're saying is experiment with some styles, you know, and see what fits you, you know. I do have a website I'd love everyone to go and have a look at. It's not sponsored by the show. It's just a guy in Tasmania. It's a fella named Pat Curley. Now, if you go back years and years ago to the early part of to the early podcasts, the early days of the podcast, I did interview Pat Curley. He's a lovely fella. He's got a website called LearnCigarBoxGuitar.com, and I want to give him a shout out. There's a lot of free content on there. He's now got a 3-string fretted course. It used to be all fretless, but now he does have fretted content. I haven't been onto his site in ages, and one of the reasons I love him is because he uses Guitars by Nigel McTrustry.
Yeah.
And for those people who don't know Nigel McTrustry was he's still here. It's like he's still around, guys. You know what I mean? He plays a lot of live stuff, but his website, which was I think Cigarbox Guitar Australia or something like that, he's pulled it down. It's not up anymore. So I don't know whether he's building anymore or not. But he used to build using. He's one of my favourite. I just wish he would go back to building.
Like a key. Yeah, he was very, very fond of using old keys for the bridge.
Yeah, and they were all fretless. Everything he did was fretless electric. He didn't do piezo stuff. He did fretless electric. And
11 years ago, I started building, and I was basically inspired by like C6 Steve and Jack White.
Yeah.
But Nigel McTrustry, he was one of the first people that actually had educational videos that I benefited from.
Yeah.
So.
And they're great.
Without him, I probably wouldn't have got started in building.
Yeah.
But he's really quiet these days. I don't hear from him very much.
Yeah, I see on Instagram and stuff, and there's a little bit, but he's doing a lot of, like, he does live shows, so he does live videos and things like that. He's still playing. But I think maybe, and it's funny we're talking about him because he accidentally bum-dialed me at 7:30 this morning. I sent a message back saying, sorry, I missed you, can I buzz you? And he said, oh, sorry. He said I accidentally bum-dialed 4 people on a group call. So I'd love to catch up with him and just see what he's been up to because he's a lovely guy.
Let's get him on the show.
Well, he actually, the funny thing was that, I would like to get him back. Funny thing was when I had the shop and the podcast was kind of put to the back, I think maybe I did one episode every 6 months. He actually contacted me because he wanted to know if I wanted to kind of hand over the reins of the podcast to him, and I kind of was like, no.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
I knew I'd get back to it. I just had to get the time to do it, and but he's a superhero of a player. He's a great player. He's got a nice voice. Actually, he's got live music. If you go to Apple, he's got a couple of albums up. The Nigel McTrustry and the Experience or something like that.
He's a big Jimi Hendrix fan.
Yeah. But he's great. But anyway, he and Pat Curley actually play together. Or did, or whether they're still now. But look, there's a lot of free stuff on Pat's website, and I want to plug it again, learncigarboxguitar.com. That's for people who are just kind of getting into it, or even if you've been playing guitar for a while, but you want to really kind of get down with cigar box guitars. It's $40. It's it's $47 US for everything on the site, but it's not a subscription. It's forever. There's no expiry date.
Lifetime.
Yeah, see, I paid $65 for it 10 years ago, and I can still get everything on it. It's like you only ever pay once, and then that's it. There's no subscription, none of that BS. And it's really great. I mean, the videos he's got. I haven't been on the site in ages, I've got to admit, but there's just this.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, no, learncigarboxguitar.com, and there's a heap of fun stuff there, man. It's even as a guy who's been playing I've been playing cigar box guitar now since I started, which was 13 years ago. Started building 13 years ago.
Yeah, I'm 11.
Yeah, and I'm better than I was then, but not much. You know.
What about you, Jess? You'd be up around the 10-year mark, wouldn't you?
What's that, building?
Building, yeah.
Building around 12 years, and
12, yep.
I've been playing for around 25, but I haven't got any better. And if anybody
I think you have.
well, I'm getting more creative, but I'm not getting better. I think there's a little difference, but
well, maybe it's finding your style. Maybe it's just finding your style and what you're comfortable with.
Well, Joe, and not too many people know this, but unless you really look at my videos and stuff, I only play with one finger on the fretboard.
That's right. So you have your own style.
But I cannot harness the slide method. I cannot figure out how to play slide because I don't have that strength control and dexterity. Because you still have to have a little bit of control over that slide. And I can't do that. All it does is twang around. So I'm better off using one finger and just barring it across.
Yeah, raise your action. Raise the action. And stop you clanging around. You can. Like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, you don't do many fretless guitars, do you, Jess? Yeah. They're the ones to practice on. They're the ones to practice on, because, like, I've been playing slide for a while. I'm getting back into it. I've been playing slide since day dot, since I first got into it. But because I've been so focused on fretted instruments for so long, and I think, I'm going to say this, I think we're our own worst enemy. I think us as builders, I think we're our own worst enemy, because what happens is, when you're selling cigar box guitars, like, you get a run every now and again, right? And you get a run on particular instruments, like in fretted ones, right? So it puts in my head, people only want to buy fretted instruments, right? And it's like, oh, that's all that they'll buy. I went and did a market a month or so ago, and the only thing I sold was the fretless ones. People love them. They love them. And I think people will buy what they're shown and what they're educated on. And that's the thing. So if you're only building fretted instruments, if you're only building a fretted instrument, then that's all people are going to buy. I do think that a fretless instrument is probably better served with an electric pickup, because you do get a bit more out of it.
You definitely do.
You do. And
even
I think
just a straight strum.
Yeah, and I think it's really, really important to look at your build technique with the fretless acoustic as opposed to an electric. Because an electric, you can do whatever you want with it, stick an electric pickup in it, and it's going to sound fantastic. Because it's not the guitar that's making the music, it's the pickup that's making the music. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I know people are going to argue back in black and blue, and they're going to go, yeah, but they all sound different. Yeah, they do sound different. But if you put an electric guitar pickup in that guitar and you've got steel strings on it, you're going to get a strong signal. You might get varying degrees of signals that you like, whether it's a single coil pickup, a P90, mini humbucker, a ceramic, Alnico, full-size humbucker, hot rails, like all of these different pickup choices. They all sound different, but they do the same thing, which is the string goes through the magnetic field, and if the strings are set in the optimum spot, you're going to get a powerful signal, and that's going to help you with slide for sure, right? But with a piezo, the thing that's interesting about it is that I would really suggest that people look at Shane Spiel's method of building, and also I would even say Del Puckett's idea of reducing the amount of neck that's touching the top of the instrument. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like when it's fretless.
Now, more vibration on the top.
Yeah. Now this little beastie that I've built here, this tiny little one, this is a tiny, tiny little Hupman guitar. It's 21.5-inch scale length. This is one I showed you before the show started. And this has just got the neck going all the way through, like the neck's touching the top. But I always find that when you've got a fret, you get a stronger signal than when using a slide, right? So you do get a stronger, because you can be a bit heavier with it. You can press down on the fret. I think the signal's stronger, especially for a
contact as well.
Yeah,
direct contact on that fret.
That's exactly right. Whereas you've really got to figure out your style. Whether you're going to mute behind whether you're going to mute behind the slide, whether you're going to leave it open, and whether you like hearing the what's the word I'm looking for? The harmonics, the accompanying harmonics from behind. I can't remember the actual term, but it's got to do with harmonics. Sometimes people like to muffle those harmonics from behind. Some people like leaving it open. And it depends on your style. It depends on the slide. This is a copper slide. I make these for the website, and I give these away with the fretless guitars. And you know, and this sounds different to a glass slide, which sounds different to a ceramic slide. And the other thing that's going to help is the length. Sorry, guys, I apologise, but the length of the slide as well. See, the length of the slide means a lot. Like Shane Spiel talks about stubby slides, and he's right. If you got a shorter slide, and look how thin this little neck is. You want to see how thin that little neck is? Now, this is Darren's neck. Darren uses like a 40mm neck. See the size difference?
Yeah, pretty small, pretty narrow. It's like a almost a diddly bow size.
This is my favourite, Darren. Someone on the Aussie Builder Group has not done themselves a favour by not signing up, because they could have had Darren, and Darren could have built them an amazing guitar. Anywho, so
just while we're on the slide, what's that?
Sorry, Jess.
Sorry?
Send you my address, Darren.
Yeah, man.
I'll send it over.
Do a trade. That's a good idea.
What were you saying, buddy?
Yeah. Have you guys seen that slide? While we're talking about slides, have you seen that guy that got a teaspoon, you know, a little tiny spoon that you would mix your tea or your coffee with?
Yeah.
And he's adapted that into his finger. So all he has is the curvature of the spoon sitting on his fingerprint, and he uses that. And it's actually, I want to try it because it looks like it's a great idea.
Very clever. Oh, I got that.
Spoon.
I've got one of those.
Put a hair tie or a rubber band and tie that to your finger, Jesse, and try to slide with it.
Yeah, he's the guy with the R.L. Burnside in the Hills. What was that? The Hill.
I honestly can't remember it. The only part that stuck into my head was he used the slide. I don't remember what video or what style it was.
Wasn't that
You see me laughing. You see me laughing. The last of the Hill Country Bluesmen. Is that
okay?
That's the doc. Yeah, everyone needs to watch that documentary. It's incredible.
Brilliant.
Because everyone knows about Delta blues, but not a lot of people know about Hill Country blues, and they're different. They're different playing style, different. So there's that, you know, it's amazing. Go for it, Jess. Jesse's just.
So then you can also. I've learned.
No, on your slide hand, Jesse. On your slide hand.
Yeah.
The spoon underneath your finger.
But I've also learned that you can slide on the opposite side of the guitar. You can slide like this, holding this on this side if you want, and still fret.
Yeah. So Jesse's talking about putting the slide in between the bridge and the pickup on the body.
Putting the slide on your strum hand.
So what that's doing is that's picking up the string length behind the slide over the pickup. So yeah.
I'll have to try this. I'll have to try it and see what crazy stuff I can come up with. Sounds like
what's the word I'm looking for? It's got something harmonics.
I saw this guy using a little teaspoon or whatever you call it like this, and he was doing different Looney Tunes. He's doing Looney Tunes.
That is the one. That is it. Now I know exactly. And it was spot on. It sounded exactly like the Looney Tunes song.
So good.
It was really, really good. That's the video. Now I remember. Yep. Good stuff. Thanks for reminding me, Jesse. I'm getting old. You know, like, what did I have for breakfast?
Oh, dude.
Well, I watch a lot of YouTube.
Look, I think as far as playing is concerned, probably the best thing to do is as you said, Joe, find your own style. Don't try and emulate your favourite player. You know.
Well, do that.
Like, exactly.
But do it in your own style.
Yeah. Like, watch them. Like, look, James Hetfield, for me, growing up as a teenager in the 80s, you know, and playing a lot of Metallica. Like, I've never been able to downpick fast. I can't downpick fast. I alternate pick. You know, it's just like watching his hands down pick on that guitar when he's playing is just, my mind just, I can't keep up because he's so fast. He's the fastest down picker in the history of metal. I mean, guaranteed. Yeah. And you know, he's just incredible. And the fact that Kirk Hammett can keep up with him just freaks me out. But I could never play like him. But I did notice that I hold my pick like him. When I first started out, there were a lot of strategies and a lot of techniques that he played that I liked. I can't play down low. I can't play. He plays very low with almost a straight arm. Maybe that's part of his down picking technique. The fact that he's not got a bent playing arm. Maybe he plays really down low. Watch people like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's got a really particular style. I think he ended up with.
Yeah.
Well, I think Steve was unwell about a year or so ago, and it affected his playing hand quite dramatically, and he had to reteach himself to play. And when you watch him play, his pinky kind of sits out, and he's kind of got this curled over grip. You know, when you watch him play, and but it works for him. He plays, so adapting to what your body can do. Don't look at the guy next to you. Don't look at Lightning. What's his name? Junior Lightning. Like that guy's a freak of nature. Justin Johnson, freaks of nature. Like, you know, when Justin deems suitable to pick up a cigar box guitar nowadays. Sorry, that'll be a contentious issue, won't it? I'm a big fan. So, you know, it's just one of those things where all of these amazing people out there, do your own take on it. Listen to all the different musics. Listen to, watch your friends play. Like I've learned so much from Darren. It's not funny as far as building's concerned, and you know, he's got this really natural way of building and playing, and I'm totally inspired. I watch Jesse. I sit there watching you. You know, what you're doing over there with your Oompa Loompas, and it freaks me out. I need to get some of my own. But it's just like what you do. But every time you plug in your guitar and you do a demonstration, all right, you're not flying up and down the fretboard like Steve Vai, but you can see the passion in it. You can see the love of the music in it, and that's what we love. That's what we want to see.
And I also think that you are definitely getting better, Jesse. Like, don't underestimate yourself. I hear... Like I've been watching you. We've been mates for quite a few years now, and I've definitely things I've noticed about your playing is your timing's getting better, your passion. I can hear it coming through. Like I know you've always had the passion, but you can hear it now. It's like you're kind of finding your groove, and that's kind of what we're getting at. Is, you know, find your style, do what you enjoy, and you know, it's all about enjoyment. I'm kind of like you, Adam. I was inspired by...
It's like I know my limitations, and this is for the listeners too. If you know your limitations, then you got to take those and harness them. You know, you got to take those, and you got to. Well, I'm happy today, or I'm pissed off today, and you gotta make that flow through your instrument. You know, and, I just got to show you guys because I haven't tried them out yet. A buddy of mine made these stainless steel picks,
Hummingbird,
like Marty McFly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I had one of them a few years back. I did some Chrome Clutch Creations guitar pick, and I was exactly the same. This is the Marty McFly pick.
That's it.
That's funny. Yeah, even Marty McFly, you know, he was just kind of a nerd, right? But he could play that Chiquita, you know, that little yellow Chiquita or whatever he had. Hondo. It was a Hondo Chiquita.
The little guitar like Eddie Van Halen used to play one on stage.
I can't remember it.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up again.
But
no, it's not your instrument. It's not your gear. It's your soul.
Not that one.
That's it. Look, I always come down to that. There's a particular musician. If you watch that if you watch that documentary, You See Me Laughing. There's a player on it. There's a musician on it, and I'm trying to get his name. I'm just bringing it up now on my YouTubes. Now, this guy, right? This guy is this is him. Don't know if you can hear it. Now, all right, I'm watching this guy play, and I can't remember his name, and I apologise. It's not R.L. Burnside. I can't remember his name. It's on the documentary, and you watch him play, and he's playing a blue Epiphone, and he's a lefty for a start, Joe. You'll love him. He's a lefty for a start, but he had polio as a child. He was crushed in a juke house riot. Someone pulled a gun or something, and people were stampeding out of the juke house, and he was trampled. He was in hospital for a year. So he's come out mangled, right? He's absolutely mangled. And he plays guitar with a butter knife in his right hand, held like that.
Over top.
Over the top. Can you remember his name? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember, but
not Cedric Burnside. And I gotta say, man, he was just, he's so inspirational, and it's funny because when you listen to him play, Cedell Davis, that's it, Cedell Davis, all right. And when you first hear him play, he's out of tune. He's out of tune. Like he's because he's using this old butter knife, and he's polios, and he's all, like as I'm saying, he's all messed up, right, physically. But then your ear becomes attuned to it, and it's beautiful. Like it is just watching him play and watching the passion in the way he plays that with that butter knife upside down on this guitar. And did I mention he's left-handed? Poor guy.
Yes, you did.
I think they filmed him in his kitchen.
Sorry?
Wasn't it filmed like in his kitchen? Even?
Yeah. And
he's really messed up. I'm sure he's gone by now.
I think he's
a goner.
Yeah, I think he might be gone by now. But all of these old guys, they're all like T-Model Ford. This documentary was from I can't think when it doesn't actually say when it must be 12 or 15 years old or something like that. It must be around about then, I'm guessing.
So it plays kind of like this.
Yeah, but it's like that. It's fist. He's holding it with a fist. Yeah, like that. You know, and it's just. But he's fantastic. So watch that, guys. If you worry about your own playing and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, I'm struggling," go and watch him and see what he can do. And this guy's released albums, and he still gets out there and tours. You know, he was still doing it. You know, in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair as well. Like, you know, I mean, he's got everything in life against him. And he's still making incredible music. So there's no reason. There's no reason that, you know. Oh, and I've got to tell you something. Sorry. Coming up for the festival, I'm beyond excited. I mean, I'm so excited for this festival coming up. But Mila wants me to get up on stage with her and Jeff from Crazy Possum Guitars and play JJ Cale's Cocaine. And
nice.
it'll literally be the first time I've ever played on stage, you know, for paying customers, you know. So I'm a bit terrified.
Yeah, well, good on you. You go for it. You enjoy. I can't wait to see how you go.
Yeah, I'll just be in the background, just strumming, like being in school. I was meant to play recorder, and I never learned. So I'm in the back row and I'm just pretending to do the fingering.
We were all doing that, yeah.
I got a C.
The old record.
So I'm a bit shitting myself, but at the same time, I'm very excited. I better start practicing it. So
Better.
yeah, I'm just going to decide
good.
what guitar, whether I want to play a slide guitar or whether I want to do frets. I'm not sure. I'll probably chicken out and go frets.
Play whatever is the easiest, so you don't have to think as much.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'll just sit there, plinky plink in the background. I think just turn my amp down, just only so I can hear it. All right, gentlemen. Is there anything as a closing comments? Is there anything that you would like to say?
Keep on building, guys. Enjoy the passion, and we're all here together, sharing our work, and it's good to see the group is doing really well.
Yeah.
Things are looking good.
Are we happy with the group still? Now I'm going to continue asking this because are you happy with the group still being a private group? I
think it's easier.
Yeah, look, I've canned at least 6 memberships this week, potential memberships, because they're not filling out the questions, which to me is a concern. To me, it looks a bit bot-like, and it upsets me too, because these are potential group members. You know what I mean? I ask because I'm just hoping that I'm doing the right thing by.
Well, what you could always do if you wanted to sort of run an experiment, you could make it public for a week or two.
Yeah.
And see if it's an unmanageable difference.
Well, we could make it
go back to being private.
Yeah, we could make it public, but have it so that we have to approve and get the AI out of it. Because the problem that we got was the AI side of the group, because letting the group pick the control of the group go to the algorithm. And that's what was happening. But there's 4 of us here, and what worries me though is if we get if we get hit by another bot again and get 1,000 membership things, we're going to be sitting there for days filtering through them.
Instantly flick it back to private.
Yeah. Yeah, I might try that. I might try that.
If we wake up one morning and there's 1,000 member requests sitting there, then we've got an issue.
Yeah, I mean, look. I suppose I worry because it does worry me that people who might be coming and joining the group from non-English speaking backgrounds may not know. They might see all the beautiful guitars there and be interested in building, but they may not be able to read. Yeah, they may not be able to read what's there. It's not not everyone speaks English. It's a simple fact of the matter is that you might have some bloke in France sitting in a village there making cigar box guitars. He comes up, he doesn't know, maybe he doesn't speak English. Not everyone in France speaks English, and I personally just feel a bit rotten about it, that's all.
I agree with you. It would be better if it was public, but you just can't really do it. And even though with the say French people, for example, they should be able to use the translator though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know maybe they just couldn't be bothered to do the translator. It's hard to say. It's very easy to scroll past things these days, especially if there's something you have to do. If there's nothing you have to do, then it's easy to stay on that page.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit torn. I personally think public is the better option, but unfortunately it comes with no protection.
Yeah, well, the only protection would be the fact that we just have to manually accept these people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it does put more work on us. It takes, every now and again, just to get up on there, we'll just get there and just maybe do it. That was the thing. I think had I thought about it, I think we needed to do something at the time because it was a case of being attacked. We were being cyber attacked, basically.
It was out of control. We had no choice. Yeah.
So look, we'll play it by ear. We may be chatting with Alex Lechner next week. I've been in contact with him. So Alex, he's an inspirational young builder. And I feel a bit guilty because I've been sick. I haven't had a chance to actually finish this guitar. It's about 70% done, so I want to finish it this week. I think Bert's in a similar situation to me. I think Bert's been a bit unwell, so he's still working on yours, I think, too.
He is. Yeah. I only just finished him.
Yeah. So, all right, well, we'll leave it at that, gentlemen.
So,
thank you. Sorry, Jesse.
One thing while we're still here, I know you in the beginning of the episode here, you thanked Killer Strings and all that, but personally, Cindy Morris, she's been really helping a lot of guys or a lot of builders out, you know, giving them promotional screens and T-shirts and stuff. And people appreciate that big time.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I really like what she's doing with helping Steve out with the Killer Strings. She's a really cool chick. So I just wanted to throw that. Thanks a lot, Cindy.
Well, let me tell you. Let me let you in on a little something here, guys. They have been incredibly generous with trusting me, you know, to set up Killer Strings Australia. Very giving, very, you know, they've been amazing, and I'm so excited because Steve's actually going to be out here in August. He will be here in August for 3 days. We're going to be doing videos. We're going to go around. We're going to do some videos. We're going to probably take him a bit of sightseeing. It'll be in August, so hopefully we'll we'll be able to, you know, to chat to Steve in person, and you know, I'm honestly. I've never really met someone as open and as generous as those two, and I just think they're very. I'm very thankful to know them. So yeah, Jesse, I totally agree with you, mate. So big thumbs up.
Yep.
All right, let's head off. I'll catch you later. Cop you later, people, and we'll see ya.
All right. Guys, thanks, guys.
Yeah.